Welcome to Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, got a huge rumor involving Derrick Henry being linked to the Baltimore Ravens. We will dive into our NFL Daily Show from our main Chat Sports channel, where I explain all about the latest rumor of what's going on there and the possibility of bringing Henry to the Baltimore Ravens. We'll show you that coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, folks, we're getting really, really close to 13,000 subscribers here on Ravens Rundown. When I started on the channel here, we were just over 6,000. So it's pretty cool to see us double from when I began here on the channel. Join the family. Let's reach that next milestone. Invite the whole cookout to subscribe to Ravens Rundown for daily news and rumors, mailbags, live shows, watch parties, and more. If you're a diehard Ravens fan, this is the channel for you, and we'll get started with today's show. Derrick Henry, could he be making his way to the Baltimore Ravens? According to a new report yesterday from Buck Reesing, who works for The Zone, the powerhouse radio station there in Nashville, as well as AZ Sports, he put out a report that, according to his sources, the Baltimore Ravens are the favorites to make a trade for Derrick Henry, and that discussions are ongoing, that the Ravens have reached out to Tennessee about making a move for their all-pro running back. Here's more from Buck Reesing. The Baltimore Ravens, 5-2, are the team most interested in acquiring Henry as of Wednesday, but any potential deal could fall through if the compensation is not right. Baltimore is hardly flush with cap space, however, with $6.29 million available, but any potential deal could fall through if the compensation is not right. Yeah, of course. No shit. I mean, if the compensation isn't right, a deal could fall through? Yeah, that's how every trade works in America. Nonetheless, yes, if the Ravens do not offer what the Titans are looking for, then that could be it. Okay, sure. I already knew that. Tell me something I don't know. But even with that said, as far as this trade idea goes that Reesing threw out there, that we could potentially see the Ravens pull this off just by giving up a fourth-round pick in next year's draft. That's it, potentially, for arguably the best running back in all of football. That's it, folks. I am almost shaking when I hear this news. A fourth-rounder is all Tennessee could be looking for, and you look at where the Baltimore Ravens are at, there'd be a night-and-day difference for this offense if all they have to give up is a fourth-round pick next year to add Derrick Henry to this team. I wasn't going to give up a first by any means, but I was expecting at least a third. If the Ravens, if that's all it costs to bring in a player of Derrick Henry's caliber, hell yeah, take it. Get that job done. Get that trade done right now, if that's all it takes if you're the Baltimore Ravens. So let's ask you, should the Ravens trade for Derrick Henry? Why for yes and for no? Our pinned comment today, weigh in. Tell us what you think if the Ravens should make that trade or not. Now, from Baltimore's standpoint, you look at this team, and they're in win-now mode, right? This is a very good football team. John Harbaugh has done a really good job. Credit to General Manager Eric Decosta for the way that they have assembled this Ravens team. But the truth of the matter is that they have been losing running backs left and right, starting with J.K. Dobbins at the beginning of the year. We've seen Gus Edwards banged up. We've seen Justice Hill banged up. We've seen Keaton Mitchell, their UDFA, who's barely been on the football field. He has been banged up as well. Derrick Henry could put this team over the top. Not only would he provide another body and stability for this running back position, but then you're talking about taking this offense that looks pretty good and going to another level potentially. And you look at the playoff picture in the AFC. If you're the Baltimore Ravens, you have to think about what can we do to separate ourselves, to be in contention, to hang with the best of the best in the AFC. Right now, you're only a game back of the Kansas City Chiefs for the best record in the AFC. You're also in a position where things are pretty close in your own division. And so you don't have time to waste I think you have to think, what can we do for the present to be competitive and be aggressive? And Derrick Henry is that guy that you are looking for. Henry, a 3-time Pro Bowler, and for all you clowns out there that think that Derrick Henry is washed, he was just a Pro Bowler a season ago. NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 2020, 2-time NFL rushing yards and touchdowns leader. And if anything is evident, anything is clear when it comes to Derrick Henry, it's this. Henry still has more to offer. He is not slowed down. I don't care that he's gotten older. His production is still very, very good. I mean, look at what he's done this season, folks. 4.3 yards per carry, 425 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, heck, if you need to check the tape, go back and watch when the Ravens played the Titans. And Derrick Henry looked pretty good. Last year, he got a little injured, missed, a game, still had 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns. He's only a couple of years removed from that 2,000-yard season he had in 2020. Derrick Henry still has something to offer for this Baltimore Ravens team, potentially, if they want to make this move. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how Prize Picks works. You choose 2 or more players and then a given category of more or less on a number that is projected for them, whether it be yards or completions, receptions, whatever it may be. Last week, if you played along with me on Prize Picks, we did pretty good. We hit last week. Let's hit again this week. Here's what I'm rolling with if you want to play along at home. I'm going with Cousins to have less than 251.5 passing yards and Sam Howell to have less than 237.5 passing yards in Cousins' matchup against the Packers and Howell's matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. If you want to play along at home and want to win some money, you can do so at prizepicks.com/CLNS. And PrizePicks is going to give you a $100 deposit match when you use the promo code CLNS. So go ahead and head down to the comments and the description of today's video. Check out PrizePicks and start winning big today. Daily fantasy sports made easy, my friends. So here's the rushing statistics for the Ravens here. And, I love Todd Monken. I think Todd's done a really good job with this Ravens offense already. But one of the things that Todd Monken made his mission of sorts coming to this Ravens team was he wanted Lamar to run less. And there was going to be less design runs, more scrambling for Lamar Jackson. Even with that said, you know who the Ravens' leading rusher still is? Lamar Jackson. Lamar isn't running as much as he did before. That's true. But he's still running more than what Todd Monken wants. And that's because he doesn't have a bell cow that can go every down and be dependable like Derrick Henry. He would change that offense. Look, Gus Edwards is fine as your number 2 back. Justice Hill is a decent backup. But if we're going to be frank, that's what those guys are. Those guys aren't every down backs. Derrick Henry is an every down back. And as far as Tennessee's position on this, with the rebuild fully on in Tennessee, the Titans have to take the best offer they can get for Derrick Henry. Because here's the deal. Bottom line, Derrick Henry's gone after this year. This is a team that is selling at the deadline wholesale. I mean, they got the sign in the yard and everything. The realtor is taking the pictures with the family. They're ready to just get on out of Nashville, right? Derrick Henry's not coming back next year. And so you have to take what you can get. And in the Titans' case, a 4th-round pick might be all they can get. Now, Derrick Henry is saying all the right things. He's being a good teammate, saying that he wants to stay in Nashville. And honestly, if it's about places to live, I can't blame him. Nashville's one of the best cities in America. I would love to live in Nashville myself. But if we're talking about contending and playing for a championship caliber football team, you're not going to find it in Tennessee, and you're not going to find it anytime soon. Henry's saying this: I'm here at work, ready to go practice and focus on beating the Falcons. That's what you're supposed to say too. But if you're Derrick Henry, I think we all know deep down Baltimore's a better fit if Derrick Henry wants to go compete and win a championship. What are the chances the Titans trade Derrick Henry? Scale it for me in the comments section 1 through 10. how likely you think it happens on trade deadline day coming up this weekend.